you to do me a favor. I want all of you to take a moment to think about the defining factors of horror and what makes it horror. Well, in simple, there is no specific answer. That's why this genre has to be compartmentalized into dozens of subgenres. Vampires, werewolves, zombies, slashers, the sci-fi. Horror can immerse its viewer completely in escapism. The whole premise banks on the fact that the audience has an imagination. You have to be open to fiction. But this premise doesn't apply to all. Some of the most effective scary movies prey on fears that aren't so fictitious, exploiting situations that are based in reality. The flick we're talking about today is a shining example of this simplicity. Adam Green's 2010 cult classic, Frozen. The movie that follows three friends stuck 50 feet in the air on a ski lift during a blizzard. The description for this movie should just say anxiety. If you haven't seen this one, it's the perfect time of year to catch up on it. So, without any further introduction, here is our take on Frozen. Welcome back to the Sloppy Horror Podcast. I am your host and your scary movie companion. You cannot forget that part. Christian Ramey, that's my name. They gave it to me at birth, and I knew from that point I was here to give you scary movie knowledge and entertainment. From that point on, I remember that memory. I looked to my mom, I said, I know what's up, and then I walked out. All right, here we are. And sitting across from me is the best producer in the whole wide world, which I imagine was the same thing. When he was born, his mom and dad looked down and said, hello, Ozark Mark. And he said, what's up? I'm the best producer in the whole wide world. And they said, that's it. That's it. Yes, you are. And here we are. And here you are. We're all together, holding hands. And I guess we should bundle up because this is a cold one. It's cold out. This sucks, dude. I hate the fucking cold. It's cold everywhere. All right? I don't like it. There's people that like the cold more. This is your time. You better shine it up, baby. You better go out there and lick the poles. You better... I don't think so, dude. If you like 30-degree cold and like 50-degree cold, okay. But this is different. I don't know anyone who would enjoy this. But we're here, inside, warm, talking about Frozen.
Okay, don't sit over there and act all normal. And don't you dare look at me like you don't have a fucking mustache right now.
I feel like Glenn Fry right now. You know, this is a fun thing to do.
You look like a guy who drinks Busch Light, have to work on his car, watch NASCAR, man. I'll tell you right now, I love the mustache. I think it is fucking hilarious, and it pisses me off. Dude, you've had it for like a week, and you're making TikToks, and I'm checking the comments, and nobody is saying a goddamn thing about the mustache.
I think they don't want to hurt my feelings because they think I'm being serious, and it's like,
well, that's the thing, but it's probably because you pull it off. Like it's normal now. Like some people,
to strangers, it's probably easier.
Some people do not look right with a mustache. For me, like me, for example. Like, I do not look good with a mustache. Like,
I think you would, dude.
It doesn't work.
It grows in good.
It doesn't work, though.
I think you're under...
When I fully trim my beard and I leave it for a mustache just to see what it looks like, I don't. Like, and I don't. Like, I have enough problems trying to get ass as it is right now. I don't need any more factors to stack up on it.
It's gonna turn up those numbers. You got a handlebar it, and it's like it's like the best movie ever made. Since Mark got those handlebars, he's just been...
I'm just been slaying it. You thought I was clapping cheeks before. Watch out. But yes, we are talking about Frozen. All right, it's Frozen out there. This is a very interesting movie that you picked. I remember seeing this movie. This is like what is this, like a 14-year-old movie now?
Yeah, dude, isn't that strange?
It is strange. I thought it was less than that, but I remember seeing this like on Netflix and stuff, and I never ever watched it. But then you told me about it you told me about it. I was like, oh, okay, I remember seeing that. Mm-hmm. And you told me a little bit about it. I was like, all right, I'll watch that.
Fun premise. So simple, but entertaining.
Yeah, and it plays on good fear because, one, you got people afraid of heights, and, I'm sure you've gone to a ski slope one time in your period of your lifetime. I'm sure everyone has,
yeah.
whether you go tubing, skiing, or snowboarding, whatever it is. You've been on a ski lift before. So this, I like the idea of it because this is a very realistic thing that could happen.
Yeah,
Now,
dude.
there's unrealistic shit in it, of course, but this is like a realistic thing that could happen. This could indulge fear into people's lives, that's what I like. I like those kinds of horror movies.
It's also one of those horror movies that asks like the root level question of most horror movies. What would you do in this situation? And those are always the best because those are talking movies, and movies that allow you to have that conversation. I'm not saying you should talk through the whole movie. I'm just saying if you're on the couch with your friends having a beer or two, watching this, or whatever you guys do, having a coffee, whatever you guys are into, this is one of those movies that is for that because you're like, what the hell? And then somebody would chime in and then somebody would refute and say like, no, you can't do that way. You got to do it this way. And then you're like, oh shit, you're kind of right, man.
Oh, yeah.
And like it's very interesting. But the funny part about most horror movies is a lot of the people in them are really fucking stupid. And I mean, I don't mean to, I mean, maybe it's just confidence, or to be silly, but I think we would have made it before the light shut off. I think we would have, we'll go into the synopsis more, but I'm telling you, I think we could have been found the moment that thing shut and stopped. I would have been so cold and yelling my fucking head off. Yeah, and if we yelled in unison.
There's a lot of, there's many factors that we'll talk about it, but yeah. It's unrealistic the way it went down, but we'll talk about that.
But it makes for an entertaining movie.
Absolutely, and that's the one good thing about horror movies is there's always stupid people, and that's the whole premise. If horror movies was filled with logical people, you wouldn't watch them. You would not watch them,
dude.
I would not watch them.
And I love this director, Adam Green. He's great. I met him and I had a conversation with him. You know what he said to me? How the hell did you get in my house? And I said, look, don't worry about that. You need to know that I'm a big fan of your movies. Dogs were barking. He has a lot of little dogs. Not a big deal, but he didn't press charges, dude. And that made me feel good. No, actually, I saw him at a Horror Hound convention. And if you know anything about Adam Green, I mean, he's going to charge you if you buy one of his pictures, but he's not going to charge you for an autograph or just to take a picture. And he's super nice. He doesn't rush you along. He looks you in the face when you're talking to him. And I imagine that's hard to do if you have, a lot of people coming and talking to you all day. I mean, we're all human beings. That's got to be exhausting, but what a way to pay it forward to the people that like your movies and stuff. I don't know. I feel like I would somewhat be that way too. It would be really hard to be a dick in that climate if you're hey, come meet me, and somebody's like, dude, I love you, and you're like, shut the fuck up and give me $100. You're like, I don't know. Not everybody's like that, but it's a little, it's strange, and I like that he keeps it real. He's a good dude.
Of course.
He's a good man.
Of course.
Scuba Steve.
So, why don't you give me a little synopsis of Frozen, huh?
Look, I'll give you a synopsis, but we can't do that. We have to fill the shoes first.
Oh, that's right.
We about to fill them shoes. We about to fill them shoes. Yeah, I'm about to fill them shoes. We about to fill them shoes.
Well,
a song gives me a chubby.
It does. It's a little more. I'm probably, I don't know, 90%. 90%. Not a big deal. It's not a big deal.
Almost swolled up.
Yeah. Well, not a big deal. Not another cold shower. I always think of that in fucking Friday the 13th 3, and he was like, "There's only so many cold showers I can take." That made me laugh so hard. Okay, welcome back to the Fill Them Shoes segment. And this is the segment where, if you're unfamiliar, we like to bring you to speed in the year that the movie came out. Let you know what was going on when this movie came out, because that's important. Sometimes movies came out so long ago where you're like, man, this is corny, or it doesn't age well. Well, try to put yourself in the shoes of somebody that was in that year. And the year we're going to now is the tippy-tappy tip of 2010. Okay? This movie came out on January 24th, 2010. So we are coming up on its 14th birthday. We're coming on it, right on its face. All right? Guess what was going on? in January. Oh, actually, January 24th, 2010 specifically, there was a giant earthquake in Haiti. Like a massive one. I think like 150,000 people died.
God damn.
Yeah, some crazy shit. So that wasn't good. But I'm sure people that are more familiar with global stories, they know about that. But like, you know what else was happening, like entertainment-wise? You know what happened entertainment-wise?
No.
Well, I want you to try to guess the number one song in January of 2010.
Give me the genre.
Pop, woman, white woman,
White woman,
annoying
pop song.
white woman, no longer in music.
Oh, Madonna.
No, she was younger. She was just kind of like came and went. And not even...
Gwen Stefani.
No, that's 90s. Yeah,
Britney Spears.
no, you're...
Christina Aguilera.
You can see where Mark kind of cut off his listening.
Yes, I did. 2010, white woman. Is it? What's the letter start with? What's
K.
Kesha?
Yes, you got it. All right, and her number one song was TikTok. Don't stop. Wake up in the morning. Feeling like P. Diddy. Isn't that it?
I don't know. I don't know what song you're talking about. So
She brushed her teeth with like a bottle of Jack. Is that? I think that's that one. You know what
I
I'm
don't
talking
know.
about?
It doesn't matter.
Party girls. I just remember at that time like really big earrings and girls with like bump hair. I remember girls looking like Snooki and getting topped off by girls that look like Snooki and that kind of
Yeah.
music going on. You remember though, like that kind of time frame?
Sure.
That was just
Yeah,
how
I
life
was
was.
fresh out of high school at that period. In this period
Yeah.
of time.
Yeah, a lot of Jersey Shore.
Yeah,
you
that's
know.
when I was big. Okay. Next, what else we got? Like halfway filled. Anything else?
Number one. Yeah, well, we got a lot more. Number one movie at the time.
Genre.
Okay, so I'm just gonna say James Cameron and one of the biggest movies of all time. Blue People. Little Blue People.
Oh, is it that Avatar?
Avatar, bro.
Oh, I remember when that shit came out.
It was when this movie came out. This was 28
That was
days
like
in
a
the
revolutionary movie.
theaters. Yeah, dude.
Big 3D or whatever the fuck it was. Whatever the fuck they called it. That's
Yeah.
been back. No, that's big when Blu-ray was first coming out, and everybody had Blu-rays, which Blu-ray did not last very long
No.
at all. I remember I had a Blu-ray player. I never played one Blu-ray on it.
Well, they still people. Like, it's actually weird because people are kind of like revolting against the streaming services because of like all of them are like. It went from like you remember when like Netflix and all this shit started. It was like $10 a month, and now it's just like you're paying $60 a month, $70 a month.
That's how it's gonna work. At that time, that was like jailbroke Fire Sticks and all kinds of stuff people were making. And everybody started moving to streaming services, which is fine. But once everybody moves to something, that's gonna be the same thing as fucking cable, which it is now. That's
Well,
exactly what's happening.
They upped it up, but what people got pissed about is that they're putting advertisements on it, even though we're paying all this money. So they're just like, "Fuck that! I'll buy physical media on some shit." Like,
Yeah.
so physical collectors are definitely still out there. But Avatar was out, The Blind Side was out. That's what was happening. Remember that movie?
Yeah,
With the
Sandra
football player?
Bullock.
Yeah,
Sandra Bullock.
that specific day this movie came out, the Colts beat the New York Jets in the AFC Championship. And in the NFC Championship, the New Orleans Saints beat the Minnesota Vikings. All right, then obviously the Saints went on to win the SB.
The Super Bowl.
It's the bowl that's super. So they won that.
That's back when they didn't put all the Super Bowl commercials out before the fucking Super Bowl.
That's true. That's true.
That's when you actually had to wait for the Super Bowl commercials. That was half of the fun of the Super Bowl was the commercials.
Yep. So Snooki hair bumps, New Orleans Saints,
And hurricanes.
Kesha, earthquakes. This stuff was what was going on when Frozen came out, guys.
Yep.
So there you go.
Now we're there. We were over here. Now we're over there. Bang.
This is pretty cool now.
Uh-huh.
This is pretty cool.
Yeah.
So, you want a little synopsis?
Yeah.
So,
Not
Here's
gonna
what we
ask you
have.
again.
I'm trying my hardest.
Hit me with it, mustache.
So, we got 3 people. All right, 2 bros. They're homies. And one of the homies' girlfriends. And they are on a ski trip. All right, they're at a ski resort. They're hanging out. It's obviously cold there. Not a big deal. Well, they end up getting on the ski lift. And they go all the way to the top. And they get stuck up there because somebody shuts it off. All right. And the premise of this movie, I mean, I can go more in detail about little scenes, but the premise of this movie is these people are stuck on a ski lift and it's nighttime, and it's a blizzard coming, and no one is there to help them, and they don't know what to do, and they are very high up. I mean, I don't know. How high are we talking?
Well, they're above the trees.
So you probably would say 70 feet, like...
Yeah, I have no idea what the exact measurement is, and I don't
Think of basketball hoops. So basketball hoop is 10. So like, how many basketball hoops you think we could have stacked up?
like 3 or 4.
Okay, 3. Okay, so like,
Yeah, because I mean, they're above the trees, but I don't remember ski lifts being that high.
yeah. So we might go 40 feet high.
Yeah, or something like that. Yeah.
That's still pretty massively high.
Yeah, they're above a house. They're above they're higher than a 2-story house. I know that.
Yes. So they're stuck up there, and they're trying to figure out what to do. And I'm going to tell you, they don't make the right choices. They don't make the right choices, and it doesn't go great for them. And we'll kind of get into that. I don't want to, like, spoil the whole flick, but we'll probably talk about some scenes in it, and we'll definitely tell you. We're going to probably talk about the whole thing, but I don't want that to spoil you from watching this movie. But the one part I can say about this, if you want to not be surprised, or if you want to be surprised, then turn off the episode and go watch it. But this is one of those ones where you're going to feel engaged because it's a primal fear that kind of kicks in. Like, this movie makes anybody nervous. Like, even somebody that doesn't like scary movies, like, you could watch this, like, hypothetically with your mom or something. She'd be like, oh, shit. Like, there's wolves. Or, oh, shit.
Yeah, the wolves were nice. The wolves were a nice touch there.
Dude, that was gnarly. Mm-hmm. That was gnarly. And it wasn't super graphic to watch because the legs were, but they didn't necessarily give you like craziness with the wolves. They gave you a little. They gave you a little to see.
No, they just did the sounds of it, and that's enough. Really.
Yeah, dude.
You can paint the picture with your own mind.
Like, if hypothetically you're on a ski lift with my wife and I'm getting eaten by wolves, it might be funnier with the mustache, but the sounds, it would not be good. Don't eat my mustache. Yep. So, what we're referring to with the guy, because you're wondering how these wolves come through. Well, one of the guys gets the bright idea to jump all the way down. Didn't go well for him. And let's be truthful, he didn't jump very well. But I think they were very dumb because from the moment I saw that the ski lift stopped, I would be shouting. I mean, it might be like I would have like a 2-minute window, but I'm cold and I don't fuck with that. But I would know people are still there, and I would already be worried that they'd be leaving because it's late. So like we would like together, like we can just like we could get crazy.
There's also the premise of that. So here's another thing. Like at the end of the movie, they get an external shot of it, and you see that their car is still there. So any ski resort, when you get a lift pass or anything, or just when you're there,
yeah,
they make you write down your license plate number.
Yeah.
Just in case you get lost up there. So when they go around the end of the night, there's still cars there. They know who it is. Now, granted, they didn't exactly pay for ski lifts or anything, but there's still a car there. So anybody knows if there's still a car there, there's somebody up there. So that's one thing that makes this unrealistic, but that's just the thing.
I just think we could have been loud enough. I really genuinely would have been loud enough. Like, I think you and I could have like just cupped our hands and really went crazy, but like in unison.
Well, sure. And also, who doesn't have their phone on them?
Well, they left them in the lockers.
Right. But it doesn't matter. I mean, nowadays you would still have your phone on you.
I think so too.
You got a ski jacket on and all that. You have a pocket for it. Everybody goes with their phone, especially not to post on Instagram or do any of that stupid shit, but just for an emergency, you gotta have your phone on you.
I will now.
Oh yeah,
I will now.
After this, everybody's gonna have their shit on it. Yeah,
absolutely.
But
I think when dude jumped though, like he penciled down, like he was penciling down, and that's not good for your like.
No, he went straight down leg first. That's not a good way to do it.
No, dude, you got to roll with that, baby. Like you're still gonna fuck yourself up, but you got to roll and like divert, that energy, or disperse it, I should say.
Yeah. Well, what I would have done, my first thing was like I'm looking at it. I was like, okay. First way to get down there is like the first goal would be to eliminate as much space between you and the ground as you can before you start falling towards the ground.
Yeah.
So
hang drop.
I looked at there was at least 6 bungee cords underneath them, holding the seat down. Take those off. You also have, you got snowboard and skis with you. You got 2 snowboards. I would take the snowboard. I would make a chain with the bungee cords. And then I would get 3 of our jackets, tie them together. So that's at least 6 feet more.
Okay.
From each jacket.
Okay.
Because people climb down on stuff all the time, right? So lower yourself down. You can get enough space to where the fall wouldn't be that good. Or make yourself one of those and swing and get a little bit of momentum and start going down and land on the snowboard. Because there's videos of dudes jumping off mountains higher than that and landing on snowboards.
That'd be so sick.
and
Like,
just
you'd
going
feel
down.
so G if
Right.
you, like...
So you make a little thing there, and you just go down, you swing a little bit, get yourself a little momentum, and go off, and then boom, boom. You
X Games, baby.
Now it might hurt a little bit, but that's what I would try to do. And obviously, the other thought is doing what that other guy did was to climb.
That's what I would have done, but not like he did it. I would, like... If here is the wire, I'm not hanging from my hands if it's razor. I'm going to hop on top of it and either scooch my butt and use my hands and just scooch my butt. I mean, it's still going to...
You wouldn't be able to balance that.
Oh, I think...
Balance would be hard. It's so thin.
I don't know. I thought it was decent sized. I thought you could get your butt up there.
You might, but
Like, even like army crawl it, like, versus just, that would be hard to do. But even once you start doing it, you just couldn't be hesitant. You just got to go.
Right.
And I might, like, monkey it, though, like, with all my limbs.
Well, you would have either that or put your feet up and just do one of those. But I feel like I could have done the monkey bar thing because I don't know how that dude did it either, because they were talking about it, and he originally said the idea, and the dude's down there fucked up on the legs, and he's yelling at him, which is hilarious. It's a very realistic conversation that happened. He's like, you can't even do a fucking pull-up. How are you going to do that? It's like, dude can't even do a pull-up, and there's no way he's going to scale all the way over there.
No.
But,
He bitched out at first.
oh, yeah. But it turns out, which I don't know why I didn't thought of it, but there should be a safety catch on all of those things, just like there was. That's how she got down. Was it broke, and the safety thing came down.
Yeah.
So there has to be that. So if you ever get stuck on a ski lift, just sway and break the thing till the safety thing goes down, then you can get down.
Then you're going to be safe. Mm-hmm. And then you won't get eaten by wolves.
Yeah, that was rough.
I mean, both of them got it. Both of them got it. Those wolves ate good that night.
Yeah, they did.
Good for them. Good for them. I mean, they're resourceful. They heard the screams. They knew they were hurting. Wolves got to eat too.
Oh, they smelled that blood. Another thing is, I don't know how that dude couldn't move.
I would have, like, fix your legs, stupid.
Well,
like,
I know you can't fix your leg, but
like,
I mean,
move them.
You
like,
could, you could at least use your upper body to crawl.
Yeah,
to a
but, like-
snowboard, and then you could fall down, ride that shit down.
But the one leg that was bent like a 7, take that and bend it correctly. It's going to hurt like a bitch, but, like, put your legs in a position where they look normal and, like, boot scoop boogie.
Dude, you at least, even though you can't move your lower body, you could still move your upper body. So you could crawl
Oh, yeah.
and go down. He could have fucking made it.
Yeah. And your legs are so cold, I mean, you're not going to feel much.
Well, they would have gone numb. He would have gone into shock and gone numb anyway. So
Yeah. Great plan, idiot.
yeah, I know.
Great plan, idiot. Of course, the girl wins.
Girls
one who-
always win, dog.
The one who loses her glove.
That was so bad. That's one of all right. Let's go to the favorite parts. That's my favorite part is when they fall asleep, and her dumb ass, with no glove on, falls asleep while holding the safety bar when it's cold out. So she's getting frostbite everywhere, and she wakes up and she looks all fucked up, and then she realizes her hand's frozen to the pole, and then slowly pulls it off. Ugh. It was making me laugh though, but she did a good job of reacting. She's like,
Yeah, that would
skin ripping off of her hand.
that would be
Ooh.
horrible.
God, I guess you wouldn't feel it because I mean you're practically numb at that point.
Yeah, would you even would you want to make it after that point?
Yeah, I'd just to say I got out of it. I don't want to go out like that.
Yeah,
I ain't
that's a
going
good
out
point.
like no bitch.
That's a good point.
I'm not gonna die as a popsicle on a ski lift. Fuck that. I'm getting out of here.
I think one of the major parts is too, I think people need to understand when you're in a situation like that, don't assume things are going to go well. That's where the guys were fucking up. Like, oh, there's no way they would leave us up here. I wouldn't be as trusting. I would be like, no, we gotta make some noise. But Kane Hodder is in this movie, so that's pretty funny. He's like the ski lift, or like the mountain cleaner, like groomer, and he's like in this vehicle. I don't know what the hell you call it. And they tried to get his attention, but they didn't do a good job. But I think you and I would have been a better shot.
They did the right thing. Oh, I would have hit his.
Yeah, we would have got it. I would have got better position.
But they did good. I mean, they did do what you should have done, was start throwing their ski stuff down there to try to get his attention, and they did it. But unfortunately, as the movie goes, every time he looked forward, they weren't throwing anything, and he looked back, he didn't see it.
Yeah.
But yeah, if there was somebody there, I would definitely aim for that guy's the front.
Oh,
of
we're
his
getting
thing.
him.
Yeah, I'm hitting him. Like, there's no way. We got 6 shots.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
like it's life or death, dude. You could do it like on a whim. If I was like, Mark, hit this, you like, I don't know. It's game set, like, you know, it's game 7 or like bottom of the 9th World Series. Like, that's like the little kid shit you dream of, you know, when you're like, the crowd goes wild.
Oh, yeah, dude, you just with a ski and just spear that shit. Oh yeah, you could definitely hit it.
You would have been the guy too, like especially if you were like the one that hit it, you'd be like, remember that time I saved our fucking lives? You would never, and then like you would hype your buddy up, dude. You'd be like, yeah, dude, this man saved my life. Mm-hmm. We were gonna turn into human popsicles, and he hit Kane Hodder with a ski.
Yep.
I love that they gave him just a little cameo too, like just a little, hey, here you go.
Hey, come over here and drive this thing for a day.
Okay. Be an actor in my movie.
Okay. I'll do it.
Yeah, and obviously Adam Green and him have a relationship from the Hatchet movies, and Kane Hodder has a really good book, obviously has a crazy life, you know, he's burned real bad. Crazy stuff, but he had a really cool intro to the book written by Adam Green, and it was pretty badass. He's a cool dude.
Yeah, it's nice to see a little cameo in there. I like how, definitely for one thing though, if we were stuck up there for a long time, definitely peeing on myself to warm myself up.
Do you think it would freeze you more?
I don't know.
I know.
But it would warm me up for a time being.
Well,
for sure.
What would be really solid is if you had like a bottle of water, and it's just like we both did, and it's like, all right, look, let's both split this bottle of water really quick, and then one of us needs to pee in it, and then we can, you know, once we're done with the other one, you could just tuck it in your jacket. It would keep you warm, like a little heater, little bottle of pee heater. No. Oh man, a bottle broke.
A pee heater.
Yep, and then, you know, whenever you need to warm it up again, you just pee in it again.
There you go.
Might be a good survival skill. You're just holding bottles of pee.
Probably.
How'd you guys survive? I don't want to talk about it. Me and my best friend had a spoon for 18 hours. They find us, and we're like, get off me. Gay.
Would you? So let's say you got to the ladder, right? Let's say you got to the ladder, but there were wolves down there. Would you still go down there and try and fight them off? If you had like the ski pole like the dude has.
Yeah,
or would you try and
how
wait
far
out?
up were they? Like, because he didn't have his skis, so he couldn't ski.
Well, he did. He had one ski, and he sat on it, and he tried to ride down on that. I don't know where his other ski went. I think it got buried because it snowed.
Yeah, I would trust the wolves to be fast, because they're dogs.
Yeah, but I wouldn't ride there. If there were wolves on me, I wouldn't ride. I would wait there with the ski. I would just start walking, and anytime one came up, I'd fucking wail on it.
Would I have the things that I normally have on me? Like, would I have a lighter on me? Because if I had a lighter, I would try fire.
Yeah, probably.
I would try fire. I would like maybe catch my beanie on fire and just start fucking spinning it and getting scary, you know, showing my teeth.
Could be.
You
but
just get weird.
I mean, dude, if a wolf came up, they'd just sit there and wait for one of them to come. Because they attack one at a time. That's how wolves do it. They attack. They'll surround you, but they do one at a time. Once you get one good and one gets fucked up, they'll retreat.
Yeah, and he just goes off.
They'll fucking retreat. So.
And then, have you ever like made weird noises at your animals and fucked with them? You just like, or especially cats, or you like make a weird step at them and they're like, like, I'm saying you could go like primal mode and just start like, you know, making weird movements and like, I got big teeth so I can You know, I don't think they know what to do.
I always do remember the CKY videos?
Yeah, fuck yeah, dude.
Rab himself on this. Come here, little KK, little KK. Yeah. I always do that to cats, and they just look so annoyed. It's fun to annoy cats.
You know what else is? I know, dude. They hate when you do it.
I know, they just get the pissed off cat look on them.
You know what's really funny to me though is the balls some people have with bears, but you find people in Alaska or other places, and I've seen so many videos of people who are like, hey bear, hold on bear.
Do they do that on that show, what is it, Alone? You know, it's a contest where they go out.
Naked and Afraid?
Not Naked and Afraid, it's called Alone, where like 10 people go out and like this, in the nowhere area, and they got the longest one who survives by themselves wins.
Shit.
Right? So, I mean, there's checks and all that, but they always go, hey, bear, because there's bears and shit around there. So, I guess that's a thing, hey, bear. I don't know if it works.
I've seen people scare bears with whistles. I've seen a couple videos where they mace them. Have you ever seen that?
You got bear mace, and you have a bear horn, so like loud noises and shit like that.
Dude, how shitty would it be if you maced them though and you just got pissed and charged? Dude, like, you're like, ah!
This mace didn't work at all.
Dude, bears, dude, fuck that, because they're just gonna start biting wherever they want. And like a cat's gonna kill you. A cat's gonna kill you. Like, it's gonna go for your neck, and you're like a panther. You don't stand a chance, dude. He's gonna wrap up and get your neck. A bear, I'm not saying you have a chance, but he's just gonna get your foot and just.
Yeah, a bear would be rough. But it's that time of the day where we like to educate you little boys and girls about things about this movie.
Yeah.
Bingo, bango, bongo. Welcome to the What Do You Know Here segment here, where we here to tell you something that you may or may not know about this movie. Now, if you know, we know, you better find out. We know, if you don't know, we know, you better find out. We know anyway, and have a we know gasm. Everybody all together now. Come together right now. Ovaries. I can't believe they let that song on the air. The dude's literally talking about a circle jerk and everybody coming on somebody. It's ridiculous. But anyway. Mm-hmm. So here's a fact about this movie I'm going to tell you.
Tell me all about it.
So, this movie, Frozen. Bet you didn't know this. I bet you did not know this. This movie was not Hollywood. This was all shot practically. Now, when I'm telling you practically, I mean these people were really on a ski lift.
No, they weren't.
Suspended 50 feet in the air. Everything was real on an actual mountain in Utah. This was not on a sound stage. This was not on a green screen. This was shot practically, right in the field.
That seems difficult.
That seems very difficult. How do you get a camera up there? That's insane.
That's a lot of work.
Not to mention, you're up on a ski lift all day. Hopefully you're not afraid of heights, because that would suck.
Your arms would be tired.
It's probably cold up there, too.
It'd be very cold.
They give them hot cocoa. Maybe hand warmers or something.
Pee bottles for sure. Give it these pee bottles.
Well, that's what I know. What do you know here?
Well, I know something very interesting. You a fan of rock and roll?
Sure.
Okay. Know a little band called Twisted Sister? We're not gonna take it. No.
We ain't gonna take it.
Yeah, everybody likes that song.
Sure.
I remember being 13. I loved that song. I'd ride my bike like I'm not listening to my parents no more. It's a good band, all right? But the lead singer of the group is a man named Dee Snider. Dee Snider's a great guy, okay? Not only did he fight Al Gore's wife for, censorship of music. You remember in the 90s they tried to censor the music?
Yeah, I remember
and the only
that.
thing that came out of it was a little sticker at the bottom that said parental advisory, but they tried to censor.
Which just helped the sales of it anyway.
Yeah,
So thank you, Al Gore.
Yeah,
Whore.
stupid people.
Yeah.
So, in the long run, what's going to happen here is Dee Snider He's in this movie. I guess his son, he worked on the movie too. He was like the director's assistant. But Dee Snider makes a little voice cameo in this movie. So at the point when they're up on the chairlift and they stop it, you know, and then the guy comes on the radio and says, "Last chair is through," that's Dee Snider's voice.
Huh.
Yeah, he wasn't gonna take it no more.
Look at that.
Yeah.
Shut it down.
Yeah.
I'm done with it.
Leader of the pack, baby. He was holding it down.
You know what's ironic?
What?
The director of this movie, Adam Green.
Yeah.
Guy's afraid of heights.
What?
Yeah.
Guy's making the wrong movie then.
I know. What are you doing?
I guess that, you know, well, I guess if you're afraid of something, you can make it really scary.
I guess so. Conquer your fears.
That's good stuff. These are good facts.
Exactly.
I didn't know these before.
I know. I was afraid to do a lot of things, but you face your fear and it makes you a better person. Yeah. Like I was afraid to masturbate with my left hand. Look at me now.
Oh yeah.
Look at me now.
Look at me now. I remember that one. That's a good one.
Thank you.
So that's good stuff. Okay. Well, I feel like that's all the facts I got. You got more?
No.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, I guess till the next time, you guys stay warm. Mark. Hey, Mark.
Hello. I'm over here.
Do you want to build a snowman and ride our bikes around the hall? Do you find it funny that there's another movie called Frozen that's for kids and it's probably tricked someone? Just
My
like Jack
God.
Frost did.
How many parents know that fucking song and they don't want to? So many.
I know. The Let It Go one is more. There's something in it, like, because these little girls, dude, of all age. Doesn't
what's
matter.
Funny about that is, wasn't there a second one of
Yeah.
that Disney movie? I don't hear anybody singing the songs from that one.
Not as popular.
It's always that first one.
There's something in it.
It's always that first one.
They're good at what they do. I'm not going to lie to you. I mean, it's not necessarily style of movies that I like, but I see how they put together the music and the things. Like
Didn't they make one of the characters a lesbian?
I don't know. I don't think so.
I think she was.
You know, did you hear about that movie Encanto? It was kind of like it's like Spanish. I don't know. It's like Latino. I don't know what they are, you know, the descent, but I think it's Latino. But that one was really good. I watched that. They got good songs, and I was like, they know what they're doing, man.
Sure.
They know what they're doing because you could see the kids hooked. And then, like, you think about, like, I mean, I don't know when the last time you've watched was, but if I were to say A Whole New World, you'd be like, oh, I know that song. Or if, like,
You know, I wonder, did Disney have to pay this Frozen rights for that title?
I don't think so.
He should have trademarked that name Frozen. The guy would have been a millionaire.
Yeah, dude. If he did, he would have so much money.
Oh, I know.
But
I'm just going to start making movies with basic titles, and then once somebody comes out with that same movie, I'm like, hey, excuse me, you owe me some money.
and this is a different, like, obviously in the 90s you had Jack Frost, the one with Michael Keaton, and then the scary one. And that was fun, you know, you could switch the tapes at Blockbuster, but Terrified kid. But honestly, with that movie, the Michael Keaton one was super sad. Like his fucking dad died and had to come back as a snowman and then just eventually went away. And you're like, oh, cool, this is a great movie. How fucking awesome. Dad's dead. Ha, great, the end.
You know, any dad that came back as a snowman would be pissed anyway.
Oh, yeah, I'm not. That's not what I want to do.
No.
Look at me, I'm a Campbell's soup commercial. What the fuck is this?
Campbell's soup. Mm-hmm. Campbell's chunky soup.
But this is a little different because Frozen is just a wholesome movie, and this one is pretty gnarly. So I just want to know if at any point a grandma was like, oh, look, Frozen's on Tubi. Yeah, kids. The kids were traumatized.
I bet, man.
I thought, even though there wasn't a lot of gore in it, the leg breaks were pretty good. I liked those. They didn't shy away from
They
that.
definitely set the tone. They definitely made it pretty intense.
I love how he shot that too. As soon as he jumped down, it did like a crazy like first person view of like his legs. Like so you were like first person and you just saw his legs going down, and then like as soon as he hit, like it kind of like went kind of fuzzy because he clearly like bonked his head and fucked everything up.
Yeah.
And then the background noise kind of faded out, and you just heard his heartbeat and the ringing.
Yep. The Saving Private Ryan thing.
That's exactly, yeah.
Yep.
The shell shock moment, if you will.
Yeah.
And it was, I thought that was really good. I thought that was done very well. I mean, I'm not saying this was a cheap movie, but this is like just a regular from a lower budget director, an independent director, an indie film, I should say.
You have to shoot it like that. I mean, that helped, everything about that scene helped intensify how intense that fall really was. Because if you did not do that right, it's not going to hit right.
Yeah, dude, he just did it. It seems so simple. I don't know if I could have thought of that, but it seems so simple. But that was beautifully done. I was like, wow, that's good.
Yeah, and it was a quick hit, quick break, quick shot. It would have gone quick if you would have fell from that.
Yeah, dude.
So
For sure.
absolutely.
I think, to be truthful, though, I mean, I know I'm very confident, but I do think we would have made it.
Yeah, I love how after he got eaten by the wolves, right? So it starts snowing, and then eventually it stops snowing, and then you look down, and all you see is like part of his hand out of the snow. That's it.
Such a fun touch.
I know.
Do you think you could have fought the pack of wolves?
Yeah.
I think so.
With
too.
broken legs, or with
No,
my
ski guy.
Oh yeah.
Ski guy. If you
Yeah.
have ski guy's body,
Oh yeah, for sure.
just the
Dude,
hurt
could-
hands.
Oh yeah, if with the ski pole, oh yeah, I could fight off some wolves. I would definitely give it my best shot.
Because they are dogs. I mean, at the end of it, like, you know what dogs are. And, like, I just think it's a funny separation that, like, I'm not saying, like, you wouldn't be hesitant, but, like, if a pit bull came at you, you would be like, I'm going to fuck you up, dog. Like, you're not going to shy away. Like, you're going to, like, embrace the fight, and you know what you got to do. Like, if you can get away from them, you would. But if there's a moment where a pit bull's coming at you or a big Beethoven dog, you're like, you motherfucker.
When you got something to swing on it,
Yeah,
I play golf. I've hit baseballs. I can swing at fucking. I can smash a golf ball very far.
It
So
just takes
I know,
one yelp.
I know how to get them. And besides, I mean, like, I like wolves a lot. They're one of my favorite animals. So I've seen things on wolves, and like you've seen them attack. Like, they attack one at a time. They don't all swarm you when you're up.
Yeah.
They'll try and pick you off. First one that comes our way, first one that gets it, it's gonna hurt very badly. So,
Especially eye shots. Like, I mean, I know they're, like, harder, but, like, if you could, like, the pokey part of your ski thing, you got him in his eye, you're like, it's my eyeball now. That dog would freak out.
oh yeah.
He would freak out.
I mean, just one good swing on him and it would fuck him up, dude. That would hurt. A metal ski pole, yeah, at a full force swing.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah, you're going down. And I would walk down the mountain. I knew they'd follow me. They get close, they're getting fucked up. Eventually, they'd give up.
Would you walk backwards?
Oh yeah. I would walk backwards. I would keep those wolves in my eyesight at all times. Absolutely, I would definitely make it through that.
If I didn't, like I said, if I had fire too, I would use fire. Like, I don't know if I would, like, put my beanie on the end of, like, the ski pole and just catch it on fire and just try to, like, lightsaber them, because they don't like that. And if you were able to, like, throw fire at them, I think that would, like, throw their whole world up.
Besides, I mean, there was a snowboard there. Now, granted, snowboarding is a lot harder than it looks, people. Okay, now I've skateboarded most of my young adult life. I went snowboarding one time and I broke my wrist. It's not easy, but it was not my fault. It wasn't my fault. I got hit by a fat girl on skis, and it was bad. So, but still, it doesn't matter. Like, that kid, you could have had a snowboard and you could have outran those wolves with this snowboard easily, regardless of it.
Yep. But I think keeping your cool is the major part. But from the get-go, I would have been alert from the moment it shut off. And then, like, you have to just, like, come up with, like, they waited way too long. They waited way too long. We would be taking action. Like, the moment it started snowing, I'd be like, dog, we have to, like, get the fuck out of here. And even if you're like, we got to wait for the storm to pass, we're, like, in it to, like, patty cake. But, like, we're moving, buddy. Like,
Probably would have been better to wait for the storm to get over, because that's more inches of snow.
Yeah, there's no, and especially if you've got another human heater up there, there's no, it doesn't matter. There's no judgments at that point, bro. I'll straight up spoon you. We're in one big jacket. Like, we got to get through this. Let's make it through. But like once there's moments where it's like, okay, we have to act, but let's stay calm. Let's stay calm and then act. And then I don't know. I think two big brains just sitting there thinking, going back and forth, like, okay. And at first they had three. So like you got three brains there, and it's like, everybody keep their cool, because if we freak out, that's not going to help. We're going to be right back at the same spot once we're done freaking out. So let's chill. What's your idea? And then you're like, I think we could climb, or I think we can make the bungee. Or,
like I said, I was like, everybody take as many layers off as you can, and just eliminate the amount of space between you and the ground. Like I said, you got 3 people in there. That's an average of, let's say it's, your wingspan is the same length of your height. So you got 2 6-foot, let's say there's 2 6-foot dudes there, a girl's 5 foot something. So that's 17 feet. So you tie those together, and then you get another piece of clothing on, tie all those together. I mean, you got halfway down already. And just have the strongest person, 2 people hold you down and just lower you down. By then, you're about 20 feet down.
Do you think? Yeah, and then like at 10 feet is like they say, like for the paratroopers, like when you go down, you bend your knees and you roll, and like I guess that disperses it. Like you could still fuck something up, but it's not like one area of your body taking all the impact. You're kind of just like rolling with it, and it,
Yeah,
and that makes sense. That's what I would have done.
So then, once you do that, you drop it, you pull back up, you put your layers back on, and then you wait for the guy to turn the fucking lift on, and then you're gone. There you go.
What would you do though, like if like your buddy like executes it, like he jumps and rolls and like lands the jump, and he's like, "Oh, hey!"
That's what I did.
Oh my God, are you okay? I think so. That would be so cool. If like the buddy that nailed that'd be so cool.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think the wolves would be as inclined to attack if it was all of us?
No. Highly doubt it.
I doubt it too.
Because they're intimidating. The wolves are intimidated by humans. So there's now one of them by themselves, and they've got numbers. Yeah, but once they see 3 full-grown adults there, probably not. They'll probably, watch it for a while, but I don't think they'd come at you.
Animals don't like noise and fire, and then you just find something to swing with.
But, dude broke his legs, bleeding all over the place, so they smell that. So he was basically a wounded animal. That's what they went for him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he was lunch.
Yeah, he was wounded.
Put him out of his misery.
You know what I'm saying?
I thought it was funny, though, too, because like they were real wolves. They were only on the scene for like 4 days, or on set. But the part where he goes to like bite his face, and I say that in quotations because obviously they didn't rip this guy apart. If you look at slow-mo, it's just a dog kissing a guy's face. He's like, and it's like,
I went to one of those wolf sanctuaries, man. They're awesome. They're just big puppy dogs.
That would be so funny, though, if it was like that was the scene. Like, all right, Mark, I know you love wolves, so you're going to be the guy who breaks his legs, and these guys are just going to come up and love all over you, and you just got to lay here and act like they're eating you. And you're like, oh, okay, this is great.
This is going to be awesome. I did. Like, I went. There's wolf sanctuary, dude. You can come up and pet full-grown wolves. Awesome.
They're so like stoic and majestic looking.
Oh, no. It's intimidating when you first get in there because you're like, okay, I'm in a pen with wolves right now. Like, this is kind of intimidating. But then you come up to you. It's like, as long as you don't do anything like crazy, like a little kid coming up to a dog, you just pet it. They're cool. Yeah. I had one follow me around because I kept petting behind his ears. She kept following me everywhere. I was like, I want to take you home.
It'd be so cool if
but
you
I
could.
couldn't do it.
Yeah, they're big.
Yeah, they are. They're big dogs.
When you look at a Chihuahua and you're like, how the fuck did you come from that?
I don't know.
Like, how did you descend so far from that? But they did.
They did. Well, let's go into the world famous Sloppy Horror Podcast rating.
Sloppy Horror Rating, baby, yeah!
Wowee. Talk about a journey through a portal. That was crazy. Kind of like the Willy Wonka fucking portal when they go through the crazy shit. That's what it's like going through that portal.
Scene.
That's what, and we do it every episode, so make sure you watch it every time because that's what it's like. That's what the fuck it's like. This is the world famous, one and only, one of a kind Sloppy Horror Podcast rating system developed by Christian Ramey, your very scary mustached human companion. And he created this horror movie scale as a horror movie, not a movie in general, so keep that in mind. But it's a great system. It's a kick-ass system. It fucking works. How are we going to do this? It's done in a series of 3 categories. 3 categories worth 3 points. Last category's worth 1 point for a total of
10 points altogether.
Yeah, that's right. I fucked it up. It's supposed to be 4 categories. But, you know, why am I saying this? You know what the hell's going on by now. So, let's get into the first category here in the Sloppy Horror Podcast rating, and that is casting.
There's no earthly way of knowing. I'm going to watch
Excuse
Willy
me.
Wonka later.
Well, you do that.
All right, that's a good one.
What's that?
So casting. So this is a great example of a indie B picture horror movie, and let's just leave indie out. Just a great B picture where we have a horror movie with people you don't recognize, so you kind of identify more. Because as long as it's shot well like a regular movie, and they can act, which I thought these people could act. There weren't moments where I was like, "What the hell?" They were all actors to me. They all seem to work well, but they're not known, and that's a great recipe for horror movies. But for me, I'm thinking it's like right at a 1.5. It was like a B actors, but they did a really good job. So I thought the dude on the ground getting ripped apart by wolves, I thought his screams were great. They weren't funny. Obviously you're laughing kind of, but like he really went full send. I thought that the Stifler kind of dude up there, he kind of nailed it as well. I just thought he was a real dude. I just thought they were all good. I like the ski lift guy.
He's a typical third wheel kind of guy, so it all kind of fit in there. So, yeah, I agree with that. Solid 1.5 there, right in the middle. Right in the fucking middle.
Yeah.
Let's go into the second category here in the Sloppy Horror Podcast rating, and that is kills.
So we're not dealing with many here.
No.
We're dealing with 2, right?
Mm-hmm.
2 altogether.
2 wolf eatings.
2 wolf eatings. I don't know
one
why.
one is just noise, and one you see the aftermath of it. So.
Yeah. So nothing too gnarly here. For like the bone breaks, I kind of want to go like a 1. Like not more. I feel like it's more than a half a point because it's like a little more brutal, right?
Well, the sounds made it a lot more brutal. That's an intense moment, so that's a 0.5 right there. And we'll give them. I say we give them another half a point for their gruesomeness, the fact that they had to have wolves in there, and
the frostbite scenes.
Just the
and
frostbite things. You know, all the other stuff that went into it.
Yeah, so I think a 1's solid. That's fair.
Yeah. So that's 2.5 so far here on the Sloppy Horror Podcast rating. Let's get the third, final 3-point category here in the Sloppy Horror Podcast rating, and that is fear.
I feel like this might be a 3. I feel like this is real.
It's not a 3.
It's but it's a maybe a 2 though.
It's not a 3, but it is a 2.
This is real.
We can get up to a 2, I think. Just for now, I don't think you're gonna lose sleep over this, but
it is funny enough where it's not.
Yeah, but I guarantee you that if you've seen this movie and you go to a ski lift, this movie is going to pop into your mind.
No doubt.
Everything in this movie can happen.
Yeah.
It can. Everything that happened in it. Somebody can get on a ski lift and climb over. Somebody can jump from a ski lift and fuck their limbs up.
Yep.
Somebody can get stuck on a ski lift. Somebody can get eaten by wolves. It's all there. Everything is all there. Somebody can get frostbite. Somebody can get their hand ripped off by a safety bar.
You know what'd be
Somebody
crazy?
can pee themselves. Everything is real.
You know what's crazy? Like, imagine if they weren't the only ones up there and like there were people in each cart and like, you know, we're talking like, what do we do? And then we see someone else jump and he gets eaten. We're like, all right, don't jump, dude.
Yeah, don't jump.
All right,
It's
we're
like-
not going to jump.
Yeah, that's not going to work.
That would be horrible, but you'd be like, oh my God.
Oh, dude, if there were other people there, you'd definitely scream and you could get out of it. You'd make enough noise.
Yeah, everybody together in unison.
Yep. Absolutely.
What would you sing though? Like it would have to be a
It's got to be like a universal fucking song.
Hey Macarena.
Like
Hey,
the Baja Men Who Let the Dogs Out.
come on guys. By the end of it, it would probably get kind of, you know, tear jerking and romantic, you know. I feel like it.
No, I'd be doing Juggalo chants and shit.
Oh, you don't think so?
I would.
I just think at the end it would kind of be like Almost Famous. You'd hold me closer, tiny dancer.
I don't want to be stuck up on a ski lift with a bunch of people one time for like a short period of time. See what happens. I would do J.G. Worthworth, 877 cash now.
877
cash now. That'll definitely get it done. All right. So that is 4.5 so far here on the Sloppy Horror Podcast ratings. Gets the final 1 point category for half a point each here on the Sloppy Horror Podcast rating, and that is rewatchability.
Yeah, I'm going to give it a yeah. I do like to watch it. I've seen this one quite a few times. I enjoy it. This is definitely one of those flicks that is fun to throw at people who haven't seen it, because, or not a lot of people have seen it, I would say, outside of the genre. So, if, you got to, hey, I'm going to pick movie night, because this isn't like super horror and gruesome. It isn't super genre. This is very approachable to everybody. You could, like I said, you could throw this on with your mom and you'd be like, oh God, these people are stuck. And you're like, yeah, Mom. So I'll go yeah.
For someone like me, I would say so, yes. I feel like if you're a fan of the genre, you can definitely rewatch this again. But you're going to have the most fun showing this to people who aren't in the genre, because this is a lot of one and done to those kind of people. Mm-hmm. But it's fun to see their reactions. And again, it's so fun to watch this movie with everybody, and then you can hear the same conversations you have, how you get out of this, what would you do, all that stuff. It's a great conversation movie with people, like you said, so that makes it rewatchable.
Makes it good.
Yeah. So that is a total of 5.5 out of 10 for Frozen. Here on the Sloppy Horror Podcast, right back up in your ass.
That's a good score.
There it is.
That's a good score.
There it is. Stamp of approval.
Honestly, you know what else is a great score? What else is a great score? Being able to subscribe to our YouTube, because it's completely for free, or giving us a free rating on Spotify or Apple Podcasts. Takes 10-15 seconds, and it's completely for free. And these are things that you could really do to help the podcast. Because if you've made it this long, you've had to say, wow, these guys don't have advertisements, okay? Because we'll be honest, guys. I mean, we're not getting butcher box plugs. They're not coming to our door. So the ones that do come to our door, it's just not worth it to water down the show. And it's sad. You see other shows doing it. It makes their show worse. For what, $7 the show? Like, that's dumb. Like, I'm not doing that. That's silly. So what we'll do is give you an hour of solid, hardcore, sloppy horror entertainment. And if you could just subscribe, it'd be a big help. Helps us out. Word of mouth is big too. You know spooky people in your life. Be sure to tell them about the show. It helps us out tremendously. Now, you guys have been listening, because the YouTube numbers have been great. It's been pushing up, dude. But we've got fans all over. But I think we're at like 5,100 and something on YouTube, and like we were 4,000 for a long time, and we've started with these plugs, and people have been bumping it up. So thank you guys. For the listeners that have, they've actually been doing it. So I very much appreciate you guys, and thank you guys so damn much.
Great Americans.
You guys are good citizens.
Also, don't forget about the Patreon. Those are bonus episodes there. If you like our sexy voices, we talk about random shit. It's very... I don't know how to do the plug. You got to do the plug.
I forgot that I didn't even mention that. Go to patreon.com/sloppyhorror. On there, there's all kinds of bonus episodes, and we intend to put all kinds of more, some flavor on there. It's just fun stuff for you guys to listen to outside of... We're talking about everything. It's not like movie structured like this. It's not like Sloppy Horror 2.0. That's not it. We're not talking about certain movies that you don't have access to here. Not it at all. We're just having fun, talking all kind of crazy stuff. You can get to know us. We take our shirts off. It's a good time. It's a good time. So, I need to know, did you say we're doing a movie next week?
Yes. I've picked next week's movie for the 9th episode of this Rehab season.
Okay.
And I don't think you've seen this movie.
I don't think I have either. Which
says a lot, because I could see why, because it's not exactly in the horror genre, but it's horror related. Mm-hmm. It's an instructional movie.
Okay.
But it's a lot of fun. It's pretty funny. I think you'll enjoy it. I think you're going to get a good laugh out of it. I remember seeing this movie, and I thought it was hilarious.
So I'm very excited for that, because there aren't many that go by my radar, but I do like...
I don't remember how I found this movie either. If you haven't seen it, I don't remember how I found out about it. But it's been a long time since I've seen it, but I remember that, and I think it's a good one for the Rehab season.
Yeah, sometimes too. Like, I like looked it up, and I didn't remember seeing or having any idea about it, but sometimes that happens too. Certain scene stands out, and you're like, okay, yeah, I remember that, but I don't think I do for this one. So we'll see. I'm excited to see a new movie. I'm excited for that. Coming close to a finale.
Yeah, I know. So you got to start figuring out what you're going to do for the finale. But until then, we got one more dose of rehab before we give you probably a full dose of regular horror to get you back into the regular seasons of moods of things.
Yep, I like that. So boys and girls, make sure that you do everything that we've requested. If you've made it this long, it helps us out so much. You guys are the best fans in the whole entire world, and I can't thank you enough. But I have an idea of what we're doing on that movie. It's kind of similar to this movie we just covered today.
That could be anything.
It's a little warmer weather.
It could be anything.
And they are also very high up.
That could be anything.
But not on a ski resort.
That could be anything.
They're climbing stuff. What silly people. Who climb stuff?
I think I got an idea.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. Okay. All right, then. Well, this has been fun. I enjoyed sitting over here for an hour looking at your crusty ass mustache. I hope we grow back, because I can't keep looking at you with a mustache for too much
I feel like Dennis
longer.
Hopper from Easy Rider.
Have you given your wife a mustache ride yet?
Yep.
What does she think? What's her reviews of the mustache ride?
Well, I've always had the mustache, just the beard to go with it.
Yeah, but it secludes. Like, you used to have a beard, so you got, the fuzzy feelings all over. Now it's secluded.
Yeah. I think it was a win. I thought it was a win. I feel good about it. Feel good. I'll ask. I'll try. Like, when I go for follow-ups, we'll have to see what the approach is. If she's like,
tell her to give you a full report, and you report back to me on how the mustache ride was.
Yeah, we'll do a rating, like a 2K player, stats. So we'll figure out. We'll get to the bottom of this damn thing. I hope you guys stay warm too. Y'all stay warm, and watch some scary movies. Make some chili. That's what I do. When it's cold, chicken and dumplings. You like that stuff? Of course you do. Everybody does.
Hot Pockets, baby.
I want to deep fry a Hot Pocket.
Ooh, that sounds good.
It does kind of sound good.
I've air fried Hot Pockets. It's pretty good. It's almost, but deep fry, anything deep fried is good.
People underrate.
I just want to make
Hot Pockets are underrated.
I just want to make a restaurant where every single item is deep fried. You'd make a killing.
I had a concept for a restaurant. Like a hot and cold restaurant, and be like hot and cold items paired. It's always really good, especially with desserts. Like, have you ever had like a hot cake thing
with ice cream
with
on
cold
it?
ice cream?
Oh yeah,
bruh.
Oh man,
that is crazy.
Oh yeah.
Applebee's used to have that one. The maple blondie.
Dude, that was good.
Dude, it was so good.
The brownie with ice cream on it too. Oh my god.
I know. But that whole concept, you could have like hot steak with cold salad, crisp, like, I don't know, hot cold.
Hot
cool.
cold. Yeah, I like that. I like that. We gotta look into that.
It's copyrighted, so don't think about it, people.
Yeah, bitch. All right, we gotta go now. We're out of time. We got a contractual obligation to only go for a certain amount of time. But we love you, and we'll see you next week.
Goodbye.